what does divine letters do? It reads the field, because everything is field and is resonance, vibration, sound, light. So if you go into the smallest particle, smallest wave, what are creation? Uh, Creation make fields, and we are fields. And divine letters read different field, nation field and group field. We can read all fields. So what I do, most children and most future human will do it. We feel everything. So we are living on Mother Earth, and we have been very mental. We have been in the brain, but now the future human, Homo Luminous, is a feeling being. We feel, we sense. So we are going against this luminous being, and we feel and sense everything. And we also know in the future, in a bigger scale, that where we live, we have chosen to live in this area because we have a gift that we can contribute to this country. And also, it can be that you were born in Africa, but you have a longing to go to Norway. And the longing is your soul speaking, well, even though you were born in Africa, you had your childhood there, it was something you should learn in Africa. And then you move to Norway and you feel that I have something to contribute to Norway. So the soul is informing us all the time. So when we transform from the program, it's like we have to do and go in the hamster wheel of our ancestor, of our mother and fathers and all of that, and create sickness, because what we have done for thousands of years is creating sickness and trauma and wars, and this is collapsing. We are in the end of a cycle, so we are going into another period, and in this period we are becoming Homo Luminous. And then we know that everything is field. We are field, and we can scan the field all the time. And the field is seeking balance. So if we have distorted emotion, if we have distorted layers in us, it will always try to balance itself. And we need to help our body to balance itself. So it's like the field is always seeking balance. And so the first step is actually that we as human, we feel what we have in our body, and then we clear out ourselves, and then we live in balance, and then we create heaven on earth. And then we kind of is guided, and we know that, oh, we want to go here, we want to experience heaven on earth, play music, have parties, whatever we want to do. But first of all, it will be beneficial to come in balance. So what I do with divine letters is what we as humans will do in the future. We scan the field, and some field is like, oh, this is not a good field. And I will take an example like the Holocaust. In the future, we will be 100,000 of people that go into this field, because this field has horror. It is so much horror that we have created when we have killed a collective group, and all these groups send us signals, and this signal become the collective field in this area, and it is informing all the people, and we need to heal that. And then we go, people like me and future, that holds the balance, and then we heal it together. The more people we are taking it in and feeling it and crying and helping and healing, because crying is it's very helpful, because we feel the emotion and we acknowledge it and say thank you for all what you have learned, because we learn through emotion, we learn through experience. So if we live from the head, it is kind of only the mental, and it can give us experience, but we want to feel it, because the soul, it knows everything kind of, and we want to feel it. So that's why we have this body to experience. We want to experience the emotion. We live on a blue planet. It's like an emotional planet with a lot of emotion, and we have created so much wounding, so much trauma, so much war, so much conflict, and now we are invited in to do it better, because we are in this period. And divine letters give researchers, it gives what will be beneficial to do in this country, what will be beneficial to do in that country. So it is kind of an overview, and also inviting people in. Okay, I live in Italy. Okay, this is the collective field here. Okay, so what I'm feeling, it's not only mine, it is the collective and all my ancestor trauma that I feel. It is not only me that I'm sick, because a lot of people in this time think, oh, I want to kill myself, or I have anxiety, or I have depression. But the era they're living is informing them what the ancestors have gone through. And it can be so painful, and we think that it is something wrong with us. But it is nothing wrong with us. We are highly sensitive, we are becoming Homo Luminous, and we feel the field. So then we need to come in balance and help the field to balance out. Children that are born in this time, they have said yes to be healers. They am an expression of what's happening now. They feel Mother Earth, they feel everything, and they say to their parents, and they maybe have a diagnosis, so that it helps us to understand, wow, what's in this field. So a lot of the sickness that we see now on Mother Earth is an expression of the collective field, what we have created for thousands of years. The trauma, the wars, and all this horror that we have created. So we are now invited in to do it better. And that's why I do divine letters, to help Mother Earth to balance out. And Mother Earth doesn't need us. We need her. She is our living fundament, and she really wants us to balance out, because she's doing it anyhow. Volcano, tsunami, and lots of water, flooding, fires. All this is an expression of Mother Earth recalibrating, because she wants to come in balance. So she is actually helping us. An area that are so polluted will come up, but she wants us to attune to her rhythm, because she has a completely other rhythm than the thoughts of us. The thoughts of us are like light, with light speed, but Mother Earth have a total different rhythm. It's the emotional rhythm, the sense, the sensuality. So the human rhythm, because we are humans, so it is kind of the human rhythm, and we include the divinity, but we want to feel. So we are on Mother Earth to feel, to sense. So becoming Homo Luminous, then we are awakened, and we know that everything we sense, it is a meaning in it. We live with meaning. That's the biggest shift, because so many people now live without meaning. They just go like zombies. It's like their life has no meaning. Yes, it has so much meaning. And when you live your divine design, it is the same as Christ consciousness. Then you know that all life is meaningful. Life is speaking to us all the time. Life is speaking to you all the time. But when you only live from this and don't include the totality, it can be hard to see how life speaks to us all the time. So we need to hack out of our loops, because we have gone in loops for thousands of years. That was what Christ wanted to show us. He showed us the path to enlightenment, how to wake up. So he did it 2,000 years ago. And Paul understood that. That's why he wrote letters. He felt the Christ consciousness in his heart, and he wanted to spread the message. And I'm doing the same as Paul and Jesus in my term. I do it even in a more feminine way, because Jesus and Paul couldn't done it in a feminine way. They would have been slaughtered, put on the cross, even though Christ was put on the cross. But for the time was very masculine, and Jesus couldn't have incarnated as a woman doing what he did in that period. No one will listen to him, because it was so patriarchic and so masculine. So he had to be a man. But now more and more women are doing the same, also men. But it's actually easier for women to live with Christ consciousness, as I call divine design, because we are so in tune with Mother Earth and her rhythm, and we combine the Christ consciousness and use this body, and we go in the rhythm with Mother Nature, Mother Earth. So we know that we use this human design and put on the divine design, and together we live as Homo Luminous, divine design, future human. So we have a bright future, but 20, 26, 27, 28, 29, 2030. When we come to 2035, in 10 years, then we will breathe totally different. Our breath is kind of revealing where we are in ourselves. The breath is revealing everything. We have a kind of a expression, and our breath is kind of saying where we are in ourselves. And when we come to 2035, not all, Norway and the Nordic country, and more it ripples. We are going towards balance, but the first nearest year it will be turbulent, and that's why you are invited in to take courses, to take one-to-one mentoring. And I have a lot of researchers, because I am a future being living in the now, to give you a key. And now I have someone that wanted to say I was the same, and it is Michael Panake, or Wolf. He called himself Wolf. Wolf message. Suzanne Giesman channeled Wolf, and she said that Wolf was the most powerful soul she have ever kind of channeled, because he was so high vibrating, and he was a future man living in the past, and he is helping people that choose to take their lives on the other side, and he chose this life to feel lonely, how hard it can be to be on Earth, because he was a loner. People didn't understand him. He really had a hard time on Mother Earth, and he was diagnosed because he was so strange, but he spread so much love. He was so lovingly and nice to everyone. He never harmed anyone, not a bird, not anyone, because he was so much, he was love, and he was so misunderstood, and he was so lonely, and he knew that he would die. He knew that he would be struck by lightning. He was more in the other side than in this physical life. And now he helps other souls that commit suicide. And he also is a future human. So he also do the same as me, but he did it in a harder way almost. Or now he is reminding me, it's not a harder, it is a different. We are a lot of souls doing it different. Princess Diana did the same. She was also expression of the future human. So a lot of humans are doing it. So Wolf was seen as a stranger, but he was highly sensitive. He felt the surroundings, he could read the minds, and he was more into the invisible and the other side. He had a lot of geometric pattern, and when I do ceremony, I go into this experience. It's like, oh, it's pattern, geometric pattern, and symbols everywhere. So we are patterns. We have to have a matrix. We have to have a structure, but we don't want to go in loops, because then we create sickness very often if you do it. So this is the words that came through me. I am a future human living in the now, to help you that listen to this, so that you can come in balance and attune to your soul, because we are all invited to tune to our soul and live as Homo Luminous, future human. Namaste.